Hey guys, Sheena here. Welcome to Bain Home Gardens in beautiful southern Dothan, Alabama. Today is a beautiful day. The temperatures have been getting cooler and cooler. The nights are cooler, and that just basically means that it's time for us to get a lot of those winter greens started. Spinach particularly really needs cooler nights in order not to bolt, and we're going to plant some of that today. We're also going to be planting some snow peas, and what else do I have in my handy dandy? Oh, arugula for sure. Why is it every time I start recording, huge trucks want to come by? Like, what is that? Oh, hello. Anyway, let's get up to the hot tunnel and get some things done. So I've been really frustrated recently because I am a morning person, but recently, due to some health issues, I've had to adjust my medication regimen, and it has just made it difficult to get up in the mornings. Hi guys! And those mornings are so valuable to getting out to the high tunnel and getting things done before it's too hot. And it's just become more and more of a challenge to get anything done in here and not be able to get in here early. In the evenings, the mosquitoes are so bad already. You spend more effort fighting the mosquitoes than actually doing any planting. So it's already warming up out here, even though it's nice outside. Keep in mind the high tunnel can be about 20 degrees hotter than the temperature outside. So if it's warm outside, it's hot in the high tunnel. So even though I have all this planting I wanted to get done in here today, I'm very likely only going to be able to get one or two things done. Yeah, I just started recording though, so give me a second. My handy dandy brother is out here helping me today, pulling some weeds and things like that. We appreciate his help with those type of things, especially since bending and squatting and stuff like that is not good for my chronic back issues. So thank you, Brian, for your help. So let me show you this little thing here that I put my seeds in. I've had the experience where, where I'll bring my seeds out and then I'll leave them and then I'll water or something and then they get wet and then I end up having to like plant a whole packet, and it's just not cool. That's what happened here. The packet actually, no, it was in my pocket, and I sweat profusely, especially in the summertime. So this is my green wave mustard seed here. The packet was paper, and so the sweat, you know, of course, what's going to happen. So I'm not going to get all of this planted today, but these are things that I need to get planted this week. So with the things like arugula, spinach, you really want to, hey, stay on this row that you're on. Don't go over there, because I have some stuff over there that doesn't need to be pulled up. So go down that row that you're on. There you go. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So, the green wave mustard. Oh, I lost my train of thought. So, spinach really needs consistent nights of cool temperature. And that could be the case with some other greens as well. Just need cool nights. And in our forecast, we have consistent 60s on the forecast, low 60s for the nights and the early mornings. And so that is perfect for going ahead and getting spinach, arugula, collards, those type of things planted. I'm going to be behind on my collards this year. Collards and my cauliflower, broccoli, all of that. So I've done videos before about the peat pellets, how much I really love them for planting. I do. But I'm starting to notice a trend with my brassicas, that the brassicas tend to get leggy in the peat pellets, and I'm not exactly sure what's up with that. When it happened this year, I was just shocked, and then I remembered it happened last year too. And so I think last year I just thought it was a fluke. This year, with it happening twice, I don't know what it is, but I'm not going to do my brassicas in the peat pellets anymore. We lose time, we lose money, and both of those things are not things you need to lose when you're running a farm. So I'm going to be restarting them using my Burpee Organics seed starting mix, and in just some regular cell trays that I just happen to have, because, you know, I use the peat pellets for just about everything, so I don't really have a lot of trays, but I do have some pop-out trays from Burpee that I can use, and I have a couple of the plastic cell trays that I can also use, so I'll be utilizing those hopefully this week as well to get back on top of that. So that puts me about 3 weeks behind my schedule, so it's very likely we probably, and that 3-week time period is very important because daylight hours are changing in that time period. The temperatures are dropping, which things are going to grow, but they're going to grow slower, and so that probably means I'm not going to get a fall harvest of broccoli and cauliflower. I guess I may be able to get collards. They do grow a little bit faster. Have I gotten into an ant bed or something? But anyway, so yeah. So just wanted to mention that note. If you are someone that's using the peat pellets, if you have noticed the same issue, let me know. Maybe I'm not alone. Or if you haven't had the issue, maybe I am alone. Maybe there's something I'm doing in my technique that is causing this issue. But I haven't noticed it with anything else. Only the brassicas. So I'm also going to be planting today our Oregon Giant snow pea. It is a really delicious one. Like, it's really sweet, and the pods get really big, and they still stay pretty tender, so I really like it. We're gonna plant this. We also are going to be planting dill. This dill is the dill that I use for our microgreens, but dill is dill, so this big pack, I can also take some out and use for our planting in the high tunnel. May seem like a weird time of the year to plant dill, but I need to have plenty of dill growing and dried for next summer when I start doing my spice blends. So I want to go ahead and try to get a good batch of it grown and dehydrated so that I can make sure I have plenty on hand for that. That's also the same thing with the cilantro. Now, cilantro really does like it cool, and I have had the most beautiful cilantro in the fall and winter, and that was before I recognized that it really does like it cool, because cilantro is one of those, it's really one of those seasonings that we like to use in the summer, like for a nice taco, salsa type deal. You think about summertime for that, but it really likes to grow in the cool weather, especially in the south. Does not like the summer weather, so you have to grow it in the cool in order to keep it from bolting. If you grow it in the summer, you have to succession plant it like so quick that it almost seems pointless. You barely are able to get a harvest before it starts to bolt. It's difficult. So doing cilantro. I'm also doing 2 types of spinach. I'm going to be doing this lizard spinach from Johnny's and this Galilee spinach from Baker Creek. And last but not least, we're going to be doing slow bolt arugula from True Leaf Market. So all these things need to get planted. I do have one bed area that's prepped and ready to go and receive planting. Brian is working on another area. He's weeding it now. And Brian, this looks good to get to the chickens. So let's give this to the chickens. Give them a little extra snack when you get done. So that's all that we need to get planted today. So my tip, the mosquitoes are bad. My tip for you today, if you are in an area where you are getting sustained cooler temperatures in the nights, go ahead and consider getting in your brassicas now. If you've started them and you have them sitting aside, it's a good time to go ahead and plant them, especially if you're wanting to get a harvest before spring. Get your greens, your kale, your collards, your mustard, your arugula, lettuce. Oh my gosh, I can't believe I forgot to mention lettuce. Lettuce also likes cool temperatures unless you have one that's very heat tolerant. We grow a couple of varieties that tolerate the heat, but even those varieties are going to taste the best. Their optimal flavor is going to be when the temperatures are cool. So even with those heat tolerant varieties, we notice that the flavor isn't as great as it could be if we harvest in the summer. But you could go ahead and do that if you're like me and you just like your own lettuce. It seems like every time I buy lettuce from the store, there's some type of contamination issue, like every single time. And I'm just like, for real? So I'd really rather grow it ourselves. And then if I get to that time of the year where we can't grow it because it's just too hot, which that absolutely does happen here in South Alabama, then we just go without. So we're learning to eat what's in season for us, what we can currently grow. This year we had to take a hit with that because a lot of our crops failed. And so, you know, it was what it was. You adapt, you still got to eat, right? So, but going forward, we hope to keep getting better, and they're happy with that. Keep getting better and better with our growing practices, our harvesting practices, so that that's not an issue. So stay tuned, and we got to get to work on getting these things planted. I will catch you in the next video. Oh, if you haven't subscribed, please do so. Share this video with someone who may enjoy it. Catch you on the next one. Bye. I was literally just sitting there observing all that Brian had gotten done and basically outlining in my head what I needed to get done. I did not even realize that the camera had continued to record, which is hilarious. But due to that, you'll get a chance to see some time lapse of us doing a little bit of work. I just realized the camera was recording all this time. I don't know what all you got to see in that little person. Come on by. Look at that worm. Try and get that worm right there. Look on the drip tape. Right down in front of your foot. See that? No, in front of your foot. You don't see him moving right there? Oh Lord, let me get this one. Here's the worm. See him? He was eating on some weeds. He's had his last meal. Here you go, take him to the chickens. So the reason why I was coming back over here was I was getting ready to pick up my arugula seeds, and I thought about something you may need to know. So brassica seeds are tiny, right? When it comes to planting your seeds, especially your brassicas, do not plant them very deeply. If a seed is really small, you barely need to cover it with soil. Come on by. You barely need to cover it. So what I do when I'm planting things like arugula that are mustards that I direct, so I will go through and I will use my stirrup and I will just loosen the surface of the soil, right? Then I go back through and I broadcast my seeds, and then I just go back with the stirrup and just lightly cover them. I think the instructions usually say like 1/8 of an inch, but these are the same seeds that will grow on the surface of the soil for microgreens. So covering them is not a huge, like, don't try to just like cover the seed with layers and layers of dirt. The seed that's small will literally give out of energy and just rot and die before it reaches the surface if you bury it too deep. So that was a mistake I made early on. I'm like, oh, I gotta get the yeah, I wasn't reading those instructions. I was just pouring the dirt on there. And so that's your tip for today. And that will officially conclude the video. Now, please subscribe, like, and share. Have a good one.